You are watching the Merged Marketing Podcast. You are listening to the Merged Marketing Podcast, and this is episode 122. And on today's episode, I have Nataly Restokian, and we are going to talk about a lot of different topics. One being, becoming an award-winning author, but also female empowerment in the workplace. We're going to see where this goes today, but I'm super excited to have Nataly on the show. Thanks for joining me, Nataly.
Hi, Jason. How are you? Thank you for having me. I mean, I'm so excited to be with you and with your audience. I know that they are very interesting people because whatever you're promoting to everybody out there, it's very, very important. And it's very important also because you're doing it in an authentic way rather than people going on Google. They just have to listen to people who have real life experience. Thank you for this amazing opportunity.
Well, thank you for joining me, and I appreciate that. And just for some context, like we were going off on some tangents before going live in today's episode, and we went down a bunch of rabbit holes, but I had to cut Nataly off because, I said, we got to get this live because we're talking about a lot of valuable stuff here that I think our audience is going to find value in. So let's kick it to it. But first and foremost, who's Nataly?
I don't know. Who do you see me? No, well, I'm a housewife. This is what I like to start saying this because it just brings me to who I am really from inside. I'm a housewife. And I am someone who believes in herself. Whatever she can do has to work hard on her achievements, on her goals, on her dreams. I am somebody who never says no and decides to go on and achieve new goals with every stage of her life, knowing that there are no no's in life. There are strong people, persistent people, and we are no heroes. We are just people that we choose to say, if it's no, we are one step closer to yes. So I'm that kind of person. And in real life, I mean, people know that I'm an award-winning author. I'm a life and wellness coach. I just received my degree specialized in coaching related to human relationship with yourself, with society, in business, with your spouse, with the ones you love, etc. And also received my rhetoric diploma from Harvard University. And I've been a journalist in Lebanon and Arab world for over 20 years, and also marketing manager for 3 Arabic economic magazines. And I just like to share what I have in life, because for me, in life, there is a lot of meanings to things which are dear to us. And if we can change somebody else's life, it gives us satisfaction. I'm not a Snow White, I'm telling you, but I like to do this because it makes me happy. I hope I answered your question.
No, absolutely. That's amazing. And where I want to start with this, because we can go down so many different directions here, but, let's talk about the award-winning author and that journey to writing that book, Masks. And how did you first go about realizing that writing a book needed to happen and the topic of that book? Talk to me about that journey.
Well, I didn't realize that I was going to write a book, but being a journalist, I have always been addicted to pens and pencils because I write, and I belong to old school. So I write on paper. A lot of people say that it might be some kind of confusion when it comes to language, but I think that being an author, being a writer, as the same way being journalist, these things that are given to us, I think, from our Heavenly Father, these are gifts. I think that like so many other gifts given to other people, it is a state of mind. It's not a language. So when I came here to Canada, I left my whole life behind as a former public figure in Lebanon, Arab world, being on television for years, and decided to follow my heart and be with the one I love. I came here and I started challenging a lot of shocks in my life that I didn't expect, like standing in line in Walmart, and I didn't know what that meant, but I love it now. And like
it was refreshing though. It was refreshing though to go from TV host in Lebanon to here now having to actually wait in line in Walmart.
My husband like, stand here, don't go there. I'm like, okay, I know, but it's very funny that within this journey, when I came to Canada, I was expecting a lot of things to happen in my life, to have a family the way that I expected to have, like children and a huge family and learning how to drive in snow. So none of these things happened. And it's not that I'm saying, again, it's a very sad story, but I have always learned from my parents not to give up in life, especially when you believe in something and you love. And it's very funny that when I came here, a lot of people weren't expecting from me to succeed in this marriage, because they said, "Oh, she's a businesswoman. She was famous in Lebanon. She was always pampered, spoiled person. She got everything she wanted in life." I say, on the contrary, when women, they live their lives and they have everything they want in life, they know really what they want, and they really know what is needed for them to be happy. I'm not saying that only those women can be successful, because the word successful is a word for different people, has different meaning, but I don't want to justify that. But in my concept, when I came here, the only thing that I had was the love of my husband. And basing the story on him, in my book, the novel, I started to write down my pain, on paper, my my shocks, everything that I have been through over there, in order to have a name, to be, let's say, somehow um, a public figure. How I went into challenges, how challenging was it for me, because my mother tongue is Armenian, so I'm Armenian. So over there, when you speak not your mother tongue and you have an accent, oh, that's a very big no.
Mm.
And I had, it was a very big challenge for me, because everybody spoke Arabic, and Arabic wasn't my mother tongue. And also, it was for me, writing the book, some kind of redemption. Like, I'm putting everything on paper to feel that whatever happened in my life, I'm just venting the stuff, the pain. And then started this story to become a novel. And I'm like, I'm going to publish this, but I had no idea how to publish a book, by the way. And it's very, as you said, Jason, it is a very important point, and I give you a lot of credit for that, that we want to help people to learn how to write a book, because we just see everybody on screens, and everybody just doing amazing stuff. And I think that it happens in one night. It doesn't happen in a day or two. And I don't say that becoming an author, even award-winning author, you will be financially successful if that's their goal. I don't know if it might be later, but I think that we should all write, because we have a story to share with the world, a story that brings changes to them, to others. And there are 3 points I will give, especially to women. Ladies, be brave. Ladies, do not be scared. And ladies, love yourself and write down your emotions, your feelings, because we are amazing human beings. We have the concept between our mind and our emotions, and we can do so much. Okay, sorry, Jason, I know that you're a guy and you're smiling now,
That's
but
okay.
I'm quite
I have a wife.
serious.
I have 2 daughters as
Yeah.
well. I get it.
Oh,
It's cool.
that's amazing. As you know why? Because as a woman, I know how I feel. I mean, I can talk as a life coach about men, but I cannot talk. I cannot talk how they feel the same way that I go through my experience. And I think that when I wrote the novel and I wanted to make it to publish it, I didn't even know where to go and how to do it. And all I had to do is Google. I Googled, how can I publish a book? And there was things like literary agents. I didn't even know that you go to literary agents. And one of them, they replied after I sent the book to them, because I didn't wait. I'm like, okay, first month, second month, third month, and I'm publishing. And even my editor, David Antrobus, who's an amazing editor, I found them online. And like, okay, his name is David. It's from the Old Testament. David, smart person. I swear, I just did it in a funny way. And I went with the Telwell Publishing Company. They're amazing. And in order to publish my book, I had to sell my car, and because I didn't know that it costed that much. And I had to cut on a lot of shopping for 2 whole years. Even when you look at the cover of my book, whatever I'm wearing, like they told me, okay, you have to wear a black jacket. And with all my respect, I wear black, but I didn't have that kind of jacket at the time. And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? And my friend, who's my makeup artist, she said, oh, my sister has one. I said, okay, bring it. And when you look at the cover of my novel, this is what I'm wearing. This is not even, it wasn't my jacket at the time. And it makes me so happy, because I've seen it all. I've seen a life of private jets and screens. And I am shy when I hurt others. I'm ashamed when I'm doing something bad to ruin somebody's reputation. Again, I'm not a Snow White, but I do this because I want to go to bed with very clear conscience. And when I was doing this book, I didn't even know how to edit. After my editor, he sent me the first edition. I mean, it was edited, and I called him, David, it's all red. He says, okay, you go on reviews, you click there. I didn't even know how to do it. I'm telling you. And again, it's not because I am different than others, because I'm persistent, and I knew that this story had to be shared with the world, because I read to a couple of people, they were like, wow. And I gave up financially stuff in order to change women's life and to feel myself that I can remove my mask. That's why I called it mask.
I want to unpack a few things that you said there, Nataly. And
Yeah.
I love how you use that book as kind of a tool for yourself to vent this story that you wanted to put down on paper, almost like an open book journal that for the entire world to read. And that's the way you position it, as a way to empower yourself and get this out there to the public. Because I truly believe a lot of people out there do have a story to tell. They just don't think they have that story yet. The difference here is that you put everything on the line. You sold your car to public to put this book out there to the public. And it's, I got to commend you for that, because that's a huge risk to take. And for a lot of people, I think it is that massive risk that, in your case, it was worth it. Would you say?
Yes, of course. Because when I got the first time when I got the award, that they said the publicist, I didn't even know that the publicist, you should have, they just submit your book to reviews and for awards. And it was like 5 stars, 4 stars. I'm like, okay, wait a second. I mean, I have been a dork my whole life. I know how to read books, but I think that stars are for hotels. I'm saying this in a very honest way, because sometimes we are shy when we don't know things. I say we should not be shy when we don't know things. We should be ashamed when we don't learn. So I learned, like, oh my God, I have 5 stars from India and Australia and Canada, from Armenia and from United States. And I was really like mesmerized what's going on. And I think that it was worth it, because even when I got the award and it was in my email, I called them. I called Washington. I mean, Forward Indies company, like, hello, my name is Nataly Restokian. I just want to check, is my book Masks? Did I win? Like, is your name there? Yes. And I just imagine how they felt like after I hung up the phone. Oh my God, she should be like from outer space, But it's okay when we ask people. All we have to do is ask. People could help us. I say that I learn, and we should all learn, because people are kind, people are polite. We should stop being worried how they will think about us. It's okay to ask. People are very, very helpful when we ask them in a kind way. Some of them might be rude, but we could learn from that also. And the second award, when I got it from Los Angeles also, I mean, I didn't know. I called my book publisher, and I said that we have to put it on the book. Everything I have done is with the help of others, because I was never ashamed to ask for help. And and always we have to understand something very important, that the name of any book and the cover of any book, as a journalist, this is my advice to all who want to have a book out there. Just take your book before you publish it, or you decide on the title or the subtitle, and think not as the author. Because when you think as the author, you see that you understand everything, but it doesn't matter. You have to take your book and look at it not as yours. I mean, masks, what does it mean? It has to be reachable, and it has to be very easy to others to understand as readers. And we should look at our books, at our novels, at our covers, as if it's somebody else's book in the library. Will it attract us to buy it? Then that's the one. And that's why I wrote it Masks, because when I was living my life over there, I was very worried, especially as a woman, to come to the other question that we were talking about, our life, that we were very, as women, when we come and step into the business world, it's different in Middle East. They look at us like, okay, so you want to be part of the business world, so you think you're a marketing manager, but you're a woman. And they have expectations related to your degrees, expectations related to your outer appearance, how you wear, how you look like. So according to those standards, they just value how smart you should be, how much you should talk, and how challenging you can be with men. And unfortunately, we are in an era that everything is changing, but this mindset that men have over there hasn't changed till today. They show that it's changed, but it isn't changed over there. And I wrote masks because I had to wear a lot of masks. I mean, my to cover my face, meaning that to hide behind it
Mm.
in order to get what I wanted in life, because I had to pay the price by not being myself. That's why when I wrote this book, like, yay, I'm myself. I can say anything I want. Thank you, Canada.
It alludes me to a question here. There's a couple questions I have, but the first one is, in terms of those people thinking of writing a book, right? A lot of people are like, well, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment with a book? So in your case with masks, is it a direct monetary play? Like, I want to make this money, or is there a bigger picture behind writing this book?
It's a bigger picture behind it, because I say, if any of you anyone is going to go decide to write a book and they are going to concentrate on the financial result, they should not go for that, because anything might shock them. They might be disappointed. Because for me, if it was my answer, to make it as an example related to my life, if I was going to write a book for money, I would have never married somebody like my husband. I would have stayed there with the money, with the comfort. For me, it's beyond that, because I live that life and I never do anything for money anymore. I do for messages, for inspiring, for helping others. It doesn't matter. A lot of people say, oh, because you're financially very comfortable. I say no, because financially I'm very satisfied, because financially I'm very convinced where I am. I'm okay, because I do not compare myself to others. If anybody has the talent to write a book, and that book to change people's life, and they're interested to make money, they can make the book as a tool in order to make money in other ways, like to inspire people, as a life coach, and as a motivational speaker, to use it as a package when they are a coach, even in their business, because it might be related to their own experiences. But as I'm saying again, I repeat, it is a gift, and it is a tool, and it is a blessing. This is, again, my perspective. Maybe others would say, if I'm not going to make money, I wouldn't do that. But I think that even I had two deals to make it, two offers that we were just thinking of making it a movie, but it didn't work because there were a lot of complications of locations. But I'm always open to that suggestion to make it a TV series or a movie. Now that I'm writing the second book for the third time. By the way, the second book, it's always going to be harder for everybody. I'm telling you that, because you are going to be very careful. The first time it's going to be authentic, and the second time, like, okay, that's it. And I tore half of the book. The second one, I threw it away. And again, I stopped it, and now I'm writing from the beginning, because your expectations for yourself is going to change. You want to do something on the same level or better. Otherwise, it will be just financial business deal. And I don't go with that, because art, writing is an art, is a gift, like so many other things in life. And I cannot just put it in a package called money and comfort. No.
So right now you're using Masks, the book, as a tool in certain ways. How are you specifically using that book as a tool?
The book is used because when I'm, as a life coach, I talk to people and I connect with people, and they read my book. They know that what kind of coach they have. For example, after I graduated the Canada Coach Academy, and I became, we did the program of ICF, ACSTH coach, I became. Then I went to Toronto University. In the meantime, a lot of people read this book, especially women. So when they came to me with their problems as coaches, they realized that how much the coach who is coaching them has been through her life in order to understand them, because it is very important as coaches to understand others in an authentic way. And they teach us, they train us the neurology, the way that we should not make judgment, we should not make any assumptions. But imagine how much more confident a person would be if they know that the coach who is listening to them had been in so much problems in her life and she had faced them and she's doing okay. It's like, let me give you another example. If you know that there is a doctor and this doctor had killed a couple of people in the surgery room, would you go to that doctor?
Probably not.
Oh, probably not. It was a very bad example, very extreme. So in this case, it was the same. I mean, when I was, I'm writing the book, and the book changed a lot of women's lives. And these women saw that after everything I gave up, I had a happy life, and everything that I have been through, harassment and rape and being ripped off the things that I had in life, giving up my values, ethics, etc., everything. I was strong enough to make my life from the beginning one more time, another chance, the way that I want. This person not only could not judge them, could not jump into assumptions because she's trained only as a coach, but she is also trained in her personal life because she's been there and she's been through a lot. So that's why I think that it is very important and it is very helpful for coaches out there to write books, because it will help them, help the coachees to be confident about them.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's talk about what you specifically do in terms of the health and wellness space. So a lot of it, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, is coaching women, empowering women, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so right now at this present time, obviously there are a lot of challenges happening out there. As you know, previously we had people or kids being homeschooled and things like that, and I've seen it on the front lines. A lot of females are the ones at home taking care of the kids and trying to manage the job, and their hands are full. And there's a lot of challenges that are happening right now. Are you seeing some of those challenges yourself, and how are you helping your clients with those challenges?
Well, I am seeing a lot of challenges from people around me, and it's very fascinating when you just realize how strong women are around me, and I see it. The children are being homeschooled. They have to work and at the same time take care of the children, and especially when the husband is home with them. In my case, because I have no children, for me it's like honeymoon time. Whenever there's, my husband is always home with me, and he's not usually, but because I love being with him, because his working schedule is very long, and I have the challenge that I get depressed, sad a little bit from the things that happen around me, because a lot of times people say, "Oh, you're a coach." I say, "Yeah, I'm a coach," but it doesn't mean I'm not a human being. I'm a coach, but I am a human being too. I can coach myself on a certain level. Like my friend Don Marbasti, she's my coach. She coaches me back. So it's something that we have to do in a fascinating way to each other to help to bring strength to our self-confidence. And the challenges out there I'm seeing, it's that men are more frustrated than women most of the time. I'm not attacking men. I love my husband. My father is my dad is a man, of course, and I have a great respect to men. And but the thing is that I feel like psychologically, women are not being damaged as much as men, because for men, it's like they are being inside the house, and for them, it's not something regular. But for women, they are inside the house, but more responsibilities. And the only thing with women is like they come to coaching with more questions, and their questions is from everyday life and from the society more than it's personal. So that's why I say that it is very important for us to understand anybody as women, to know that whatever is happening to somebody else. It's not something on a private level. This is number one. And number two, I always say that it is very important to understand that there is somebody who is in a worse situation than us. And it is very sad that they always come up with this answer like, yeah, I know, but somebody is better than me somewhere else. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about worse, not because we want to feel better, because we are selfish. No, because there are facts in life. And if we see worldwide, pain, health situations, crisis is so much more than happiness. Am I correct? I don't know.
100%. I mean, look, it's one of those things, and I think a lot of the fuel behind a lot of those thoughts is naturally when you're sifting through your social media, you're seeing the happy side of people. So that's what you're comparing yourself to, is the happy side of people on Instagram, on this vacation, down to wherever, and it's making you feel a certain way. So it makes it very easy for your clients to compare themselves to those people doing better, and sometimes more difficult to compare yourself to those people that are not in such a good position, right? And because it's just not aware and it's not apparent. You know what I mean? And I think you hit the nail on the head with that. I will say this, though, Nataly, is that, especially speaking of women in the workplace, my wife is way better than I am at multitasking.
Whoa, is she
Way
hearing
better.
this?
You know what? I don't even think she listens to my podcast. I'm just kidding. Unless I tell her.
My husband doesn't read my book.
Right. But I will tell her to listen to this episode, though, and that's not why I'm saying.
What's
this,
her name?
I'm saying this. Her name's.
We
Deb.
have to say hi to her.
Hi, Deb. It's Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
And the reason why I do say that is because she holds down the fort. Like, I cannot do what she does on the level she does it. She does, she manages clients, she helps out with her clients, but she's also making sure that our kids are getting homeschooled, our kids are, being fed. I've got 3 kids, and she does an amazing job at doing all of it. If I was tasked with all of it, I would rip my gray hair out of my head. And it's just, I can't do it. I'm really good at focusing on one thing and one thing only.
All men are like that, right? When they're watching, for example, TV, like, it's okay, I'm watching TV, but I'm going to say something later, honey, later. It's just TV.
Exactly. We cannot multitask, and I'm generalizing here, but men typically cannot multitask the way women
But they
can.
excel when they do something.
Sure, yeah, because we can focus, because we're only focused on that one thing, right?
Yeah,
so it's like, men think in blocks, and think of the way men think is in cubes, and women, they're these blocks that are all intertwined and tangled, right? And they're able. That's why, I don't know. I'm generalizing again, but let's say soap operas and things like that are very attractive to females, and I don't want to use the term gossip, but that type of stuff, because they're very interested in what's happening with other things and other people and outside circumstances. And I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but for me, it's like, who won the game, who lost the game, black and white. That's it.
Yeah, that's what when I wrote my book, it's about. I mean, when my worst days, when I started acting in soap operas in Lebanon before having my TV show, because that's how I started, and I was so sad. I was so angry at the world. But if you saw me on the camera, I'm like, woohoo, but I wasn't happy. I was so angry at the world. Why? Because I wasn't myself. I was doing everything to satisfy others. And it comes with the package. I didn't know that. All I wanted to be on the screen and be famous. That was my dream. But it came with huge prices. Now I'm happy. People say, how come you're happy? I say, I cook for my husband. They say, really? Does that make you happy? I say, ladies, you don't have to be where I was in order to be happy with what you have. We are luckier than queens and princesses and empresses that were in history, because they didn't even have hot water, right? I'm not joking. I mean, if they want to wear something beautiful, they didn't have dryer. They will say, okay, these are simple things, but life is about simple things. And whatever you see on the screen, I'm an example of that person who left that screen. And I didn't leave because I wasn't okay. I was there. I had my TV show. I had my soap operas before that. And I started with modeling, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I was traveling all around the world. I had things that I thought would make me happy. But in the end, what you see on the screen, what you see on the social media, it's not correct. It's not right always. It doesn't mean that they're not happy. I admire them, and I salute everybody who want to bring inspiration to the world with their happiness, with what they do. But that is just the screen. I used to cry behind the screen so much. I used to be jealous of women who had a husband who loved them. And I had things they were jealous of me. They wanted to do like me, like my hair, like my makeup, etc., etc. But believe me, the screen is not real life. The screen could be a part of your life, but it will take so much from you. If you're ready for that, if you're not happy, all you can do is try. And social media is, unfortunately, this is what we create. And I say, as much as we create in a natural way, as better it is. For example, me now, I'm talking with you, I have my slippers on. So otherwise, somebody else will say, oh, I have my shoes. No, I don't. Why? Because for me, it's not to impress others. I'm one of the people that I'm talking to. When I put my coats, when I put my coaching videos, I do that because I'm one of them. I'm no different than them. And they say, okay, I had a TV interview a couple of weeks ago. They said, oh, your dress is like $2,000. I say, are you kidding me? It's like $3. Because they saw it on the screen as an award-winning author here. They just told it, it's not that. But the thing is that we have everything. We are blessed with so many things in life that we're not aware of. So
the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the mountain.
oh yeah,
you know?
Trust me, it's not.
You had that green grass. I know where you're coming from, and it's not always what it seems. And I think that's the key. And we got to wrap things up. We could probably talk for another couple hours here.
Yeah, we
Nataly,
don't want to bore people with
no,
this.
This has been great. And if anybody has any questions out there for you, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
They can always contact me through my website, www.natalyrestokian.com. I don't know if you can put it in the chat.
It'll be in the show notes. It'll be in the show notes for this episode. Just go over to merged.ca/podcast/122 and you'll get all the links to this episode.
And also, I want to say to you that you're doing not only an amazing show, but you are being who you are. Because when you just talked about your wife like that, it shows how confident you are, how courageous you are, and how kind and humble you are. And that makes you who you are today. And that makes you an inspiration to women, that it is amazing to see men who are standing up and appreciating women. And my experience with men has been like turned 180 degrees after I met my husband, because he's the love of my life. And he inspires me to write my novels. Like this second one is saying, how is going to be in the end? I say, I'm not going to tell you.
You got to read it.
Yeah, because I know the story. I say it's not the same.
100%.
And women out there, I just say, if you are single, love yourself. If you're married, also love yourself. If you are looking for somebody, also love yourself, because it is very important for us to love ourselves. Because if we know the value of loving ourselves, we will love others. Don't let people manipulate you to say to you that if you love yourself, then you're selfish. No, especially here in the West. You are, me, of course, one of you now is Canadian in Canada. I am so lucky not to be somewhere where I could be silenced for being a woman, where I could be silenced and scared to speak up my mind because I'm a woman, because they listen to what I have to say and they don't look at my gender. I'm so blessed for that. We are so blessed here to have this freedom of expressing our thoughts as women, and we're not judged. On the contrary, we have people who stand up with us, who support us, like Jason and so many others, who bring us to this podcast and give us all these opportunities in order to share our experiences and to let the world know that we are so much better than other places, but we are women everywhere. And if we just understand more each other and see what other places women are going through, we see that we have so much more in common than differences.
Love it. We end every episode with the same question, Nataly. And that question is this: if you can choose one person, dead or alive, to represent your brand, who would it be and why?
Whoa, you didn't tell me before. This is
Don't tell anybody this question.
It's very maybe it's going to be shocking for you. And I know that for me, this person is not a person anymore. This person is my Lord. And I think that it is very scary to say. And I throw all my degrees, starting from literature in Lebanon, and here health and nursing degree, Canada Coach Academy, life wellness coach, everything I throw at the feet of my Lord Jesus Christ. And I say, I'm his servant. And I've been atheist my whole life. I came to be saved this year, and I wrote against my Lord in my book. And I respect and I embrace everybody, whatever faith they have. But I hope that someone, not because for me, he's my Lord, my Savior, one of his apostles or disciples, anybody who could represent my brain, but I wish that Jesus Christ would represent my brain. I know that he had given me this brain. Everything that I have, everything is from my Lord. Hallelujah. But yeah, and now I'm having goosebumps. I wish that he could have represented me, and I bow my head down to the cross on Calvary because I'm saved by his blood.
Nataly, it has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.